Guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I cleared off this wall and we got a little project to do. So in the shop everything's pretty tight. I'm gonna make a folding out or a hanging table that's gonna lie on there. Let me show you what I got. Someone actually gave it to me and I'll show you what it is. I think it's gonna work out quite nicely. So there it is, guys. So it's a stainless steel top. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. I think it's going to work out quite nicely. So we're roughly about 44 inches, almost 4 feet wide, and about 5.5 long. So what the game plan is to do with this thing is to put some hinges on here and make it come down off the wall. I'll peel the protecting film off once it's done and show you. And then what I'm most likely going to do is drill some holes through it so I can put some clamps and so forth through it. But I think that's going to work out quite nicely. And because it's stainless steel, the magnets don't work on that, but that's okay. That should work out quite nicely. So let me get things laid out so we can get this thing up on the wall, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay guys, so what's happening here is we're going to get it mounted on this wall. So the distance between this outlet and here is too tight. So I marked it and it was 44 inches. So it's somewhere back here. So we're going to have to cut these pipes and we'll move them back into the central vac, and that should solve that issue. This way we can get it up. Now the other issue we have is the clearance from the garage rail, and if I'm not mistaken it should just clear. Let me find a tape measure. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. So we should be pretty good. I think we've got 4 or 5 inches clearance. Yeah, we've got about, I'm going to say about 4 inches. So that's okay. That's good. So I can put a strap down here and put the thing on hinges, and that should work out beautifully. And we should be at a good height. Yeah, so that should work out. So what we got to do is measure 60 inches here. Yeah, we should be pretty good. Just want to see where the height of this table is versus the garage. Yeah, we're good. We're right at 60. Okay, so that's good. That's a good height. All right, so that's going to work out pretty good. So let's cut this pipe. We'll move it over and see if we can get things going. So guys, pipe fell on the ground. White pipe cracked. So went out and bought a bunch of fittings, some new pipe, and we'll get it put on. Yeah, so guys, nothing goes as smooth as planned, but that's okay. So what we're going to try to do is I got a new Y. And we'll see if we can get this to sit where we need it. I'm going to try to tuck it in behind the machine a little bit more. So I'm hoping I can get it to sit pretty tight behind it. Something like that. That might do it. That one might be a little much of a bend. I got a bunch of pieces, so I'm hoping with these 2 pieces I can make it happen. That should, it's too far down. Oh, I need a half. I just can go like this. I have another half. I do. So if that goes here, like that, that goes straight out. And that should be perfect right there. I don't know if you guys could see that, but that should work out okay. Let me cut a couple little pieces of pipe and join this together and see what happens. We need a tape measure. About 2.5 inches. Need a piece of 2.5 inches. Should I use new pipe? Yeah, let's use the new pipe. Two and a half inches. All right. 2.5. So sometimes with this PVC piping or whatever you want to call it, what happens is it gets old and brittle. And I think that's exactly what did me in. It was old and brittle. Still a little too long. I'm going to cut that back just a tad more. I'll bring you in closer after, guys, so you can take a look. But it seems to be pretty good. That goes like that, and that goes right in there. So we'll do another 2-inch piece there. And that tucks that pipe in nice and tight. All right, let's cut another 2-inch piece or so. All right, let's see. Where's that Y? There it is. There it is. Looking good. Nice and tight. That should work out really well. I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's measure them all. We'll cut them. We'll put it all together and then make sure the fitment is there. And then we'll glue them all together just to make sure. So we need a piece to go up to that top. .50 and a half. 50 inches and a half from the bend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 90 on it.
We'll cut that 50.5. That should be good. Let's cut it. Let's see. All right. Let me close the bin, or the door, I should say. We'll see if I get that to sit properly. Can you guys see that top? Let me move the camera up. Let's keep this pipe just in case. I might be able to just push that in there. No, it's too much at an angle. All right, so we got to extend that a bit. Doesn't look right. Okay, so let's get a tape measure. See. Oh yeah, that's way off. All right, no problem. Tap that off. Three. 23. And what do we got? Three inches. All right, so let's cut a piece of 3 inches. Mark it here 3 inches. Inches it is. That. All right, much better. Okay, so now let's do bottom one. It's good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to shove a piece of pipe in there so I can measure like that. I'll show you what we got going on at the bottom there. Move it down. There you go. Wonder if I could use that piece of gray pipe. I probably can't. No, that's okay. I'll use the white pipe. The bend. It's 25. 25 with the 90. All right. Let's get the 90 on here. And get the marker. We'll mark 25 with the 90. Then we just double check. Yep. All right, it's 25 with the 90. Let's cut that 25. So guys, sometimes, you know, working with pipes is such a pain. You're better off using all new. And this is a perfect example of me having to use everything new. Because it's just pain. Okay. So that one's sitting in pretty good. Now we need a piece tape measure. I think this is, looks short. Why does it look short? Oh, that's why. Okay. Now we're good. In the distance, right on. What do we got here? To the inside of that, the inside is 8 inches. Okay, let's mark 8 inches and cut it. There we go. She's in there nice and tight, guys. And we've got enough room now, I hope, to get our stand in there. It should be pretty good. So we're good. If we have to move that thing, that plug, I'll remove it. But I think we're going to be okay. Because the pipe used to be here. Now it's tight in. So it should be good. All right, so let's get this glued up and in place, and we should be okay. All right, let me get some glue. Let me turn on a fan in here because it's getting real hot. Sweating buckets. There we go. The 90. There. So let's take. that in. There we go. That's there. Swipe my hands. All right, so we got to do the bottom. All right, I think we're good. Tighten this stuff up so it'll dry up real quick. All right. And I just got to clean up that so it doesn't look awful. Oh, brake clean will clean that up if I can find some. Okay. I had some, I don't know where it is now. Oh, there it is. There we go. That's good enough. All right. Wow, that little project took a lot longer than I expected. Like everything in life. All right, let's get some zip ties and we'll tie up that wire. And we'll knock this one right out. And then what I'll do is I'll start cleaning everything up, guys. And then we'll start mounting that board and see how it goes. Let me tie this up first. That's that. That for the bottom. This wire, excess wire. And we got excess here. So what we're going to do is tie it up. like so. I'm gonna put a twist tie there, or a twist tie, zip tie there, just like that. So we're cooking hot here today. We're at 32, and it feels like 39 with the humidity, and it's overcast. So imagine if it was sunny. Oh, okay. I'll redo that. I'll put another one. All right, let's snip off those ties because I like things nice and neat, as you guys know. Not bad. There we go. Okay, since I'm here, let me wipe down that machine because it's looking pretty bad. All right, here we go. This is looking pretty good, guys. Okay, now we need to start with getting the board up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to unplug this heater. I'm going to get rid of this cord for a second. I feel it'll give me some more room to play. And then if I have to, I'll get a different style plug for there. Something a little bit more narrow. Okay, so I got to go get a piece of material to measure from here that's an inch thick, or sorry, half-inch thick. Well, let me run and grab something. Let's see if I got something in the bay, and we'll get it ready. So guys, I did find a piece. It's a 1x4 strapping. You guys watch, this is an extra piece from when I did the patio cooler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this to 44 inches. It is the same width as the actual unit, and we'll mount that to the wall, and that will sit right on top. So let's give that a cut and go from there. so I'll get the latch out. I'll find where I put it. Okay, so basically all I'm doing, guys, here, let me bring it in with the camera, is I'm just basically using a fence latch. I don't know if you guys can see that. So the way this works, okay, is it just slides up, releases, and locks in place. So we'll get that mounted on the top, and that should be good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move that safety piece over. Just a little bit in place right now so it doesn't fall. And we know pretty well this is dead center, more or less, and that's where she'll have to go. Now this did come with its own screws, I think, and we'll use those. Try to mount it that center and see how she goes. There it is. All right, we'll bring it up a little higher. There you go, guys. The latch is in. Let's take out that other safety thing that I had, a little piece of wood that was holding it. And that should do it. There we go. Nice and sturdy. Okay. Actually, I'm going to leave this on for now, and then I'll take that cover off of it later. But should work out perfect. So I'm going to move my little step ladder over. Let me adjust this camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. Move it back a bit. Maybe a little further, and I'll get a little fold out. Now, of course, I'm going to do the legs. And we'll just grab the latch. One latch. Oh, wrong. Latch, there we go. And then drop her down. And we should be good. Now, of course, this is too high. quite on that. Okay, I'm gonna figure that out. Well, there you go. That's kind of the gist of it. What can I do to make sure that I got the right level? Hold on, I got another bench. I can lower. There you go, guys. And I got myself a nice working surface. Beautiful. I'm happy with that. I mean, right now it's kind of awkward, but once I had the stand put on it, legs put on it, it'll look great. Perfect. Now we gotta figure out what we're doing with that wire. I'm pretty sure I can run it still the same way I had it. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing to sit up now. Yep. You can. All right. I can plug this back in. We're good. Bring you in a little closer there, guys. Again, show you what that latch looks like. Nice and safe. Holds it in nice and tight. That should work out just great, guys. So I've got some material coming in, and I'll order some extra angle iron, probably 1.5 inch angle iron, and we'll make the legs for it. I've got rubber feet that slip onto the angle iron, so we can put the feet on it, and we should be good. So guys, I've got the speed square T-square out. So we got some angle iron to make these legs. So I got 2-inch angle iron, 2-inch by 1/8 thick, which is pretty standard. So the game plan is I want to stay in a few inches with the legs. This way I still have clamping area everywhere on this unit or on this tabletop. So I'm thinking 6 inches should do it. Should give me good enough clamping area. So what we'll do is we'll mark the 6 inches, and then we'll mark 6 inches from the top down. Oh, great. All right. I'll put that on there. It should be pretty square. Where's my 6 inches? There it is. I'm glad I didn't peel off this protecting film so I can mark it, which is awesome. Of course, it's going to be slightly in the way. There we go. Oh, that didn't work out well. Try that again. There we go. All right, so we got the 6 inches. Let me see if I get another Sharpie. This one's acting up a bit. So what we're going to do is mark 6 inches from the top and down. That's kind of where the legs are going to sit, more or less. I don't have the room, so I'll just... Oh, great. Try that again. It keeps sliding on me, guys. All right, I think we got it. There we go. We got it. Perfect. So we'll have the angle in here. I think that's going to work out good. That'll give us enough space in here to, to have room to clamp stuff down on top of that tabletop. So that should work out good. Okay, so let's measure that out and see where we're at. Let's grab that tape measure. Let's measure the spacing that we got here, roughly. Okay, so we're about 32 inches. Well, let's mark down 32 so we don't forget. That's good. Then what we'll do is we'll cut that and then we'll figure out what the distance of the legs are going to be to the floor. Now, shop floor does slope towards the opening. So that means one leg will be slightly different than the other. But what we'll do is we'll lower the table down, put it on a stand, make sure it's level, and then measure the distance that it would be and go from there. And then if we have to, we can always adjust to make sure that it's level. But let's cut that. That's 32 first. Okay, so let's mark this angle iron. Again, this angle iron is 2 inch by 2 inch, 1/8 thick. So we want 32 inches. We'll mark it and we'll cut them. "32, 32, and we'll throw the square on it. And we'll just make a little mark, knowing that that's the piece we want. What do we got here? We should have enough for another leg there, which is good. Okay, square it up. 1. There we go. So we should be good. Okay, so let's give this a cut. Let me put my safety glasses on. Make sure I got nothing behind me. All right, 32. Keep that there. See if we can get away with using the leg. So what I'll do is I'll clean this guy up first. give it a nice little clean. I'll hit them with some Tremclad or Rust-Oleum to my friends in the U.S. All right, guys, that's pretty good. Cleaned it up quite a bit. Good enough for us to throw some paint on it. So let me grab a hinge and kind of give you the idea of what we're going to be doing. I'm hoping that you can see the top of that. So the game plan with the legs, of course, is that this is going to mount to the surface of the table. You see that hinge? You can. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to mount to the surface of the table, and this is going to go back and forth, like so. So when we lift the table up, it'll be closed and tight up against the table. And then when we lower the table down, this will lie flush to the table, and we've got our legs. So now we got to cut a couple pieces to go up. Of course, there'll be 2 hinges, and we'll go, to the far outside corners just to give it some stability, if I can speak anymore today. But yeah, and then what I'll do is I'll weld this to the angle iron. We'll just do a tack and do some spots in there, and that should be good. So let me bring the table down. We'll get a rough idea of what size the legs are going to be, and then we can go from there. Okay, so it's level both ways right now. And what we got to do is got to measure flush to the surface. And we are at 28 and a half. 28 and a half. And this one is 29 and a quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 29 and a quarter. And 28 and a half. So let me write this down before we forget. So this side was 28 and a half, and I'm sure this side was 29 and a quarter, more or less. 29 and a quarter. Okay, so we got to cut 2 pieces of angle iron that length. So let me mark up some angle iron, and we'll get those cut. Okay, so 28 and a half. Where did I put my square? I had it out. What did I do with it? Great. Okay. Always have a tendency to do that. I put stuff away. There it is. All right, let's mark this. So this is 28 and a half, and we'll give that a cut. And we'll go grab another one. This one is going to be 29 1/4. And we'll clean them up, guys. $29 1/4. There we go. Okay. 29 1/4. That should work out good. Okay, let's cut that one up. This is 29 1/4. Okay, let's do the 28. Clean it up. All right, do that. I clean up. All right, not bad, guys. Okay, so we got the legs done. Let me remark that again at 29 1/4. This way we don't screw that up. Okay, so now we're going to line up, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do that. Let me get the camera placed. So this is our base, right? And this is going to move this way and come down. So this is going to be the upward position where it's going to be lying flat, and that's going to be down. So the game plan here is to cut this angle iron and get it into that corner at a perfect 90, and we'll do the same on the other side. Then we'll weld it on, and that will act as a leg. So what we're going to do is mark that, cut it, and then put it into place, and then we'll tack weld it with some magnets and stuff and see if we can get that to sit right. So what I would like to do is cut the top base perfectly square. So we're just going to mark it like that, and we'll cut that out. And then that'll slide into place, and we'll tack weld it. Okay. We'll measure the other side. We'll just make an X. Perfect. And we'll make an X. So you guys can see that, and we'll cut those out. That's the leg. Let's get that saw. We'll cut it out. All right, let's just take a look at fitment, guys. Make sure we're good. We should be. This is the 29. This is this side. And we're perfect. That's going to work out just perfectly, guys. So we'll get a square on that. We'll get the welder set up. And we're ready to rock and roll. Just trying to figure out base-wise. I might have that. So if that's going to be this way, we just got to make sure we got it the right way, the right side, because they might have to flip it around the other way. So it might have to be flipped this way, because that's going to be down. Same thing. So if I'm flipping it this way, 29 is on this side, and 28 is on that side. Right? Yes. Okay, so 29 on this side. Like so. And then we should be right, because that'll be flipped. Yeah, we're good. All right, let me set up the welder, and we'll get to the next step. Okay, guys, I got everything set up. I got it clamped to the table. So what I'll do is just turn this welder on, grounded, and we'll get her set up. We'll dial her in about 16 amps, wire speed. There we go. We'll try that and see how she goes. Let me get some gloves. Come on. All right. Well, I'm going to just tack it in. Let's see how she does. Yeah, we're good. Oh, we're good. Okay, we'll get that tacked in. Let me move this magnet out of the way for a second. And that should hold it. Okay, we're good there. You know what? Maybe I will. No, let's keep it tacked for now. Let's try to get the other one tacked in place first, and then we'll do a continuous weld on everything. All right. Okay. Clamp this one down first. Move her out a little closer to the edge. There we go. It should be good. Magnet in there. good. Okay, let's tack that one together. Get the ground right on this. There we go. There we go. And we'll clean up those welds. So we got her tacked together. So the game plan now is we're going to need a support piece to go in between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a support piece. And then what we'll do is we'll cut it and we'll weld it on the inside. Same idea. But let's measure it and then we'll cut it. Let me get a tape measure. What do I do with a tape measure? Tape measure, where are you? On the floor, of course. All right. So what do we got? The middle of here is roughly about 31 and a quarter, 31 and a quarter. And we're pretty well off here. So 31 and a quarter. 31 and a quarter. Okay, so I have this scrap piece. Let me mark it. Okay, we're good. Measure twice, cut once. And we need square again. There we go. All right, so we got this ready to go. So we'll cut this one, and then we'll clean it up and get it ready. All right, so let's cut that one. I got my safety glasses on. Okay, so what we want to be able to do with this thing is put it in flush. So if I put it like this, it slightly sticks out. So we got to cut the piece out and weld it on the inside of that leg so it doesn't stick out. Can I tack it in like this? I can, and just smoothen out the corners. But no, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right, guys. Square out. Come on. That one's marked. That one's marked. We're ready to cut it out. Let's give it a cut. We'll get rid of it. So this should fit in beautifully, and it does. Perfect. Okay, so we got to measure where we want it to sit, and then tack that into place, and then we can weld this puppy up. So let me get a tape measure. We'll mark it. Hoping you guys can still see that. Pretty good. So whatever I do on one side, of course, I'll do on the other. So we'll do we'll do 13 inches. Seems about right. What do we got? About 16 inches on the bottom, so that's pretty good. 13 inches, more or less. We'll pop them in, put another magnet on there, and then we'll tack them. Okay, let's put a clamp on that. No. Do it that way. Yeah, that's good. We're good. Let me just double check the measuring tape. Make sure we're good. I think we're going to be just perfect. Let's see. Perfect, guys. Okay, so we'll weld that. I'll put a little bit of pressure on it when I'm welding, and we should be good. Then we'll have to weld the hinges on, but we'll get that piece standing up right. Let's see how we do. Let me turn this up just a tad. She's tucked in. All right. That side's tacked. Shouldn't get too much twisting. All right, back the other side. There we go. I think we're good. Let me turn this heat up a little and see if I get this. She's good. Up the speed to about 4.5. All right, let that cool off. And we got to do the hinges. So guys, we're just going to let this cool off a little bit. So I'm cooking her nice and hot, getting some good penetration. We're going to clean up these welds a little bit, sand them down. Don't have to be too pretty, but you know, as long as they look half decent, they're holding pretty good. So I'll let that sit for a few minutes and cool off. I don't think I got too much warpage, which is good. Not bad. And we'll clean up all those ends.
Okay, there it is. And that's how they're gonna weld. So what I'll do is I'll tack these on. I'll clean them up a little bit. I'll tack them on here and there. Just gonna get an idea. And we should be good. That's awesome. All right, let me clean these up just a tad. We gotta kind of figure out where we're gonna put them. I kind of get them roughly about the same placing. One. Where we want. There we go. Okay. Well, let's tack those in, and then I will finish up the weld. Well, I gotta grind that out. I gotta finish the weld up on the other side that I missed, and just clean up the front of this a bit, and we should be good. All right, let's weld her up. Let me get my glasses on, helmet on, put the ground back on there. Well, looking good, guys. Perfect.
All right, we just let it cool off for a bit, and then I'll clean up those, and we should be ready to give this thing a coat of paint. Okay, guys, let's give this a quick coat of paint. I'm painting on top of it because I have it wrapped still, so I will remove the wrap eventually, of course. I figure instead of, getting some leaf bags or something, I just paint on top of here and it should be all right. Okay, so let that dry up for a bit, and we'll flip it over. And we'll paint the other side. And I've got some feet for it. We'll put the feet on it. You just slip onto the back end of the angle iron, and they should work out quite nicely. Not that I need anything to protect the floor, but you know what? It'll give it the actual legs a little bit of grip. Okay, guys, the paint's somewhat dry. That's what the rubber feet look like. So I got two of them for here. So we'll flip this back up, move this over, and they should just pop on. So guys, we'll tap them down with a rubber mallet, but they're good. They're in there. Okay, so she's looking good. We'll put this on the ground. We'll get this table back up, standing. We'll get it back up into its stand, and then, or its lock position, and we'll mount this thing. The paint on the actual tabletop is no big deal because that's all going to come off anyway. This is all peeling off, so I will peel that off, and we should be fine. But let's get this up. In lock position, I got my markings there, so we should be good. What I'll do is, I'll get this into position, I'll make a few marks. Let me see if you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Of course not. We'll move it over. So I'll make a few marks with my Sharpie, and then we'll go back and we'll pre-drill and we'll put a couple of screws in, and then we'll go from there. Let's pre-drill those, and we'll get some screws in. Try it that way. Should have did that first time around. punch on that one. Hoping you guys can still see what I'm doing. Go. Drill. Go. There we go. Throw that one in. Get that one in too. Should be able to. Okay, so there's more screws in behind. And what we'll do is we'll tie this up to the rail for now, and then I'll do those ones. So I can get that screw in. That should hold it. There you go. You guys still see? We're pretty good. You guys can still see what I'm doing, which is great. I'll move that camera up just a tad. Okay guys, we'll get those 4 other screws in. Then we'll lower it down and we'll take a look. I gotta do the punch first, it's easier. So it doesn't travel everywhere. There we go. Stainless steel, some hard stuff. And we're nice and tight. There we go, guys. Okay, let's take that piece of metal hook down, lower those legs. They should sit tight up against the wall. And they do. So what I'm going to do, guys, is get that camera off the stand. I'll bring you up a little closer so you can see what it looks like. You guys tell me what you think. Let me grab this camera. There we go. Not bad at all. All right, let's put this camera back on the stand, and I'll do is I'll lower the latch and show you how this all is going to work out. Okay, move the camera back further so you guys can see what's going on. I'm just going to sweep underneath here because I got to clean up. And then move this down for a bit. All right, somewhat clean. Okay. Oh. Open the latch, forward, and we lower down, hold the end of the table, legs come down, there we go.
She's on the ground. Very happy with that, guys. Very happy with that. So if I want, I could just take it around a bit. She's good. All right, let me see if you guys can still see the base of this thing, or the top of it. Yeah. Let me lower you down just a tad. There she is. All right, so let's peel off this stuff. Should be able to peel it off. Hey guys, there you go. Peel the plastic off. Table looks great. There's the legs. It looks awesome. So what I'll do is I'll put it up on the camera up on a stand, and I'll put it up in place and show you. Give me a sec. Okay. So it's pretty straightforward. We'll pull the table up. Legs fold in. There you go, guys. It's up in place. Get you a little closer so you can see how it looks. Guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out. Thanks again.